Boom! Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Friday, January 13th edition of Morning Mindset. First up, you gotta let me know, how do I sound? Can you hear me? That's where we start with this. It's your first time here. Here's what I need out of you: where you're at, what's in your cup, and how's the weather going in your area. Here, it's low 30s. We got some snow overnight. It was a little slickery coming in this morning, but hey, not too bad. As far as drinking, what do we got here? We got a little purple haze bang this morning. See how that plays out. It's not bad. Kind of reminds me of the purple, the freezer stick, purple freezer stick. That's what that reminds me of. Now, the other thing is we need 5 things. What are 5 things that you are going to accomplish today? For me, we've got a list and a half. Those who don't know, we were leaving on Wednesday for Long Beach, so I tried to get as much done before we leave. So I've got to order supplies. I've got mock-ups. I've got mock-ups to do. I've got mock-ups to do. I've got 2 stores to get open, maybe 3. I've got products to press because we're going to do some samples for DTF2U. And so I'm already printing DTF. I've already got, so far, all the rush orders that have came through last night through like 7 o'clock this morning. I've got those printed out. So we were able to get those. So it gives me a little breathing room to get the rest of everything going out. Now, what does that mean? Everything else that goes out. Well, typically, here's how a day works. If you want same day prints, you need to order by 10 a.m. Okay, so same day, 10 a.m. You select, next day gets printed the next day. 2 days is within 2 days. So there's that print turnaround time, and then the shipping time. So if you need stuff by a certain day, you need to make sure that you order accordingly. Now, sometimes things happen. UPS, we sent 73 packages because they placed 3 different orders over 24-hour time span. Printed the orders, sent them out, and what happened was 2 of the packages showed up and 1 got delayed. So what can we do? Nothing. We're waiting on UPS. So if you need stuff by certain days, make sure to give yourself at least like that day buffer. But if you need to do the rush fees, do all of that to help cut down on the stress level for you, because I know it can get crazy. So that means for next week, if you need something later on next week, it's not going to happen if you do not have your order placed before 10 a.m. Tuesday. We are going to stay late on Tuesday, get as much caught up and done and ready to go, shipped out, so it's done before we leave on Wednesday. Our typical turnaround time on DTF transfers is 3 to 5 business days. It's 3 to 5 business days. Closer to that 3 side. But next week, since we're going to be gone, hey, even if you order on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday when we're back, we're still within the 3 to 5 business days. So, we're still holding true to that, but there won't be any rush orders or anything that we can print that time because we won't be here. We will be out in Long Beach at the Impressions Expos show. So if you are heading there, let me know in the comments. Are you headed down there? If you are, let's see what we can do to meet up. Now, let's check in and see how some people are doing this morning. Darren, good morning to you. Barb, good morning from North Central Minnesota. 8 with beautiful frosty trees and hot tea in the cup. I don't want single-digit temperatures. We're gonna talk about my emotional state here after I finish up these comments, and I just want to see how everybody else is feeling, so far this year. Gloria, good morning to you. And Barb's 5 things. She's got DTF, she's got white toner, she's got quotes, she's got new customer contact follow-up, and she's finishing cutting rhinestone templates. Love that, love that, love that. And Gloria's in Miami, hot water. Ooh, it's probably nice and warm down there, isn't it? And Brian told me that sound is good. It's cold. It is cold. I'm tired of it. Mountain Dew, pancake and sausage corn dog. Now that's interesting. Marketing. What are you doing for marketing, Brian? We might have to take this to a private chat. Take it over to Circle Land. And let's see what are you doing for marketing. There's a couple flyers for us that I want to work on. I'm going to try and have that all done before we leave. So while we're gone, if they want to go around, hand those out to the local businesses, that are right here with us. That's what I'm hoping for, so T-shirt flyer, a hoodie flyer, hat flyer, things like that. So we can start bringing in some more stuff like that. Good morning. What's up, Chuck? Good morning to you. And you got a huge conference in 2 weeks. What's that conference on? Have we talked about what that conference is on? In Kentucky? Oh, I'm like, what is Kentucky chocolate milk? like, what is that? Is that something new? No, you're in Kentucky. You're drinking chocolate milk and it's cold. I totally got that now. Jerry, good morning to you. Yeah, Renee, 22 and gray. I'm just the gray. What did I miss on that conference? I had to have missed something, right? Congrats again on the conference, Brian. What did I miss? Did I miss something? And hello to you, Facebook user FU. Facebook user, StreamYard and Facebook do not always play nice together. So what you can do is just head over to fatdadlive.com. That gets you to our YouTube channel. While you're there, make sure like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, do all that fun stuff. It helps the algorithm. When you guys comment, when you guys watch the replays, go ahead and do that. So if you're watching live, let us know live. If you're watching replay, hashtag team replay. Put that down there in the comments because, hey, every little bit helps. Now, let's get back over to the comments and see what's rocking and rolling here. Let's see. Trying to get my website loaded with product, trying to get my name out there more, find crafters. That's the hustle of it, right? Of hustle of getting stuff out there, getting known. Like for us, we haven't done a whole lot of marketing, both on the retail side and the wholesale side. We did some stuff in the last quarter, and I wanted to do more this year. So I just want to be very precise with it. I don't want to, spray and pray, just throw stuff out there and see what happens. Make sure that we have our avatar perfect. I want to make sure that we're getting the right customers because, a lot of times you can get your message out there and it's just the wrong customers. And when that happens, it sucks because one, they're not buying or they're tire kickers. So they're just not qualified to be your customer at that point. And so you spend a lot of time trying to nurture that relationship. And sometimes it's just not going to work. Whereas if you can narrow that down in the get-go, then it's a lot easier. So yeah. That's what Kentucky chocolate milk must have bourbon in it. I was totally down with that. That does kind of sound good. Yesterday, we'll talk about that here in a second. Good morning to you, Latoya, and I'll be sending some orders. Love it. I love that. Here's the thing on orders. So next week, typically if anybody has paid attention, when we go out of town for an extended time, when we'll go to trade shows that are throughout the week, when we go to vacation, things like that, there just might be a discount code that if you're good with the waiting and everything, that you can order while we're gone and it might save you a little bit. Now we won't say what that is until Tuesday because that's once cutoff is here, that's what you're looking at, and then we'll make sure to push that every day. I'll post while we're gone so that way you're able to do that. But yeah, I love getting orders. Get the orders in, we'll get them out. Oh, that's right. The Music Education Conference. Yes. Music Education Association, whatever. The MEA, 1,600 music educators from elementary universities. I just learned about it this week. Oh, nice. That's a nice big conference right there. Because if you can get into, let's break this down, right? So if there's 1,600 there, and we're going to do a quick little mathematician here. 1,600, and let's see, 1,600. And you can talk to 1,600 times 0.1, right? No, 1,600 times. That's right, times. If you can get in front of 10% of them, right? There's 160 people, right? If you can then convert, 10% of those to sales, that's 16 new clients. And music programs. What's that average music program going to spend per year? $3,000 to $10,000. So 16 people. You're looking at what, $1,848 to $160,000. Not bad. My math is just throwing it off, so we'll see how it is. But that's what I think. We have snow. We had snow last night, so it's definitely a little slippery out there. I think that's what next week. Even though if it's gloomy out there, having 60s. It's going to be very nice. And then, do you have a booth, Brian? What do you got there? So let me talk about yesterday. Yesterday we had a bundle drop. Thank you to those that showed up to the bundle drop. Thank you to those who made the purchases. Thank you for the ones that commented. Thank you for just showing up and being part of it. We love those. Remember, we won't do one next week because we won't be here. Next week, there will be a morning mindset on Monday at 8:30 a.m. Then we'll do a Tuesday with Todd on Tuesday night, and that one's going to be how to order DTF transfers. We've had a couple questions on things, how they came up, and so we're going to try and address those and help people out with it to make sure that we make that process as easy as possible. But I think with this weather change, with me not, being taking any personal time, since since the summer. I think I just started feeling burnout. When it's gray like this for weeks on end, just makes me feel, So I got as much done as yesterday, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I just need to grab some beers, and we just need to have a fun afternoon with it. I still worked. I didn't get any beer, but I sure as hell didn't feel like my heart was in it yesterday, and I still have that feeling somewhat today, where I just don't feel in it. And I think that's a normal thing for business owners to go through. Is business good? Yes. Could it be better? Always. Has it been worse? Absolutely. So, we are doing well, but there's just days where I just wonder, is it worth it all still? And I think everybody goes through that once in a while. Is it worth doing? When I can see people that are working, a 9 to 5 job, no responsibilities, nothing to worry about outside of it, and they're bringing in, and it's meaning, it's not like super crazy work in that, it's pretty, anybody can do it, and they're making, $40,000 to $80,000. It's like, hey, they've got insurance, they've got benefits, they got PTO. When they go home, they're home. Sometimes I miss that. I miss the corporate world in that aspect of it, where it was just come in, work, go home. Now, every time I start thinking about that, I'd be like, I should just be done with everything and go back to it. Yeah, that lasts about an hour. And then I'm like, no way, because I can't do the things I want to do. I couldn't go to all the trade shows I wanted to go to. I couldn't have the fun that I wanted to. I control, what happens to us. And, but every once in a while, I do get that feeling like, is it all worth it? Is it there? And a lot of times it's because there might be, emails that come in where we misprinted stuff, and hey, we're not perfect, but we do our best to correct those problems when they do happen. Sometimes artwork comes along. Remember, we don't know what your artwork is supposed to look like. So if your artwork comes in, and the only thing I'm looking for is there a big solid background behind everything. If there isn't, it's going to print. So if you didn't size things correctly, or maybe one of them did have a background, or there was stuff that was overlapping, or it's not the greatest PNG that you did, we're printing. We don't know until that stuff prints out. We've already done our job, so that's why Tuesday is going to help. So you can see the differences in the way to do it. But sometimes things just you have a handful of stuff that goes wrong, and you're just like, is it all worth it? And then you have, still in part of the day when you have other people. We had somebody come in yesterday and wanting to set up a store. And, just when we were talking about it and seeing their eyes light up with the different options that we could do, that's what really gets me going. When we can see the joy that we're bringing to other people. We're problem solvers. At the end of the day, that's what all of us are. We're problem solving. Somebody has a problem. They need a shirt. They need a gift. They need something. And we're providing it for them. So we're a problem solver for them. And the smiles that come from that, at the end of the day, that's what really makes me feel fulfilled. When I know that I'm helping other small businesses grow their business, other big businesses, when I'm helping them too. There is no, whether you spend $1 with us, or you spend $10,000 with us, you spend $100,000 with us, you spend $1 million with us, you are always the number one customer to us at that time. When we're working on you, it's your order. It's all about you. We're not like, oh, well, this is only a $2 order. What are we worried about it? No, we're doing it. If you were in there, that's part of it. We want to take care of you. You're taking care of us. We want to be a part of your growth, a part of your happiness, and you in turn are a part of ours. So I think we do our best to kind of, sort of looking for, to balance all of that, because I know I can't be the only one that's had those thoughts, right? Where it's just like, is today the day where I just say, F it, light a match, walk away, and that's it. I know we've all had those days, right? I'm not crazy, am I? So let's see. Just let me know on that. Jerry, I missed your bundle drop. I was in the dentist. Extreme fun. Oh yeah, I bet that was a lot of fun. Yeah, burnout was real. Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Oh, an 8x16 booth. Is that a weird booth size? I've seen 10x10s and 10x20s. 8x16. Hey, it's got to be indoors. Duh. It's got to be indoors. That makes sense. Because I'm like, well, you can't even put a 10x10 up because you've got an 8x16. Need new backdrops, flyers, sample shirts, banners, trophies, show props, business cards, update the website. Well, the great thing for you, Brian, is that you have all of that equipment to print the backdrops, to print the flyers, to make the sample shirts, to do the banners, to do the trophies, to show the props, the business cards. You've got it all. So I think the biggest thing for you is going to be updating the website. Is that probably the biggest time suck with it? Because I'm guessing that Everything else is going to have the same flair to it. It's going to all look cohesive. So a couple designs, and then you're sending stuff to print. But the website, that's where it could always start. That's where it could start getting dragging down, and you just get bogged down with what am I going to do? How does this look? Go from there. Buc-ee's starts their managers at 150K. We do not have a Buc-ee's here, but hey, I do have C-store experience. I did run one for about 4 years in my late teens, early 20s. So I do have that experience. So, hey, I'm going to Buc-ee's. I'm with you, Todd. When the insurance company took 6 months off of payments for 2 policies, one of one of which was canceled in December, and they on Monday, and then help me with that last part. It's tough, right? Sometimes it just makes sense to go work for somebody else and let them deal with all the problems, right? I think I bring a wealth of knowledge to people, to businesses, and I'm like, I could go and help other businesses and do that. But then I'm building their success. And if I'm not, getting a piece of the action, whether that's a commission off sales, whether that's a part ownership opportunity, if there's something there, then really I'm building their dream. I'm not building mine. And you're going to have that up and down where, is it worth it? Is it not? What do I want to do? So, it takes a special person to say, yep, I'm going all in on myself. And that's tough. It's scary. You're not alone with it. I feel like I'm not going to say I put on a good fakeness, but I do put on a good front. I know every day I'm going to do the best that I can with what I have in front of me. And some days it doesn't turn out. Yesterday is one of those days where, I think I didn't have sleep, a good sleep schedule. If anybody knows me, my sleep schedule is horrible anyway. I basically go to bed between 11 and 1 and wake up between 3 and 5. And if I can get 4 solid hours of sleep, I'm happy. But sometimes that just doesn't work. And then, just other personal things going on where, how's the business doing? Where are we going with it? What do we got there? We've got, travel coming up. So that's always, in the back of my mind of what happens if we miss flights, or how do we compensate for this? We were not here, so we need to make sure that the business is still producing while we're not here. And then I think internally you always have the struggles. Am I, doing enough as a husband? Am I doing enough as a father? Am I doing enough as a person in general? So you second, I don't know about you, but these are all things I'm going through. I'm going to be, 100% real with you guys. I feel that's something that I'm good at, explaining what I'm going through. And hopefully, it sheds some light on what you're going through, that you're not alone. There's times, especially, when we were busy there through Christmas, where it wasn't home a whole lot. And then, after working 12, 13, 14, 15-hour days, going home, I didn't want to deal with anybody. I didn't want to deal with the kids. I didn't want to deal with Corey. I didn't want to deal with anything. I just wanted to sit on the couch. And if I fell asleep, great. If I didn't, I just wanted to be left alone, right? But then I felt selfish for doing that. I wasn't doing things with the kids. I wasn't helping at the house. And there's times where I'm an ass. I'm not a nice person to be around when I get in a garbage mood. And I get short. I say things I probably shouldn't say in the heat of the moment. I do. I don't think sometimes before I speak. I said I'm selfish. I think about myself. I don't think about what my actions could do to other people. The words that I'm saying. The repercussions for it. I do my best to, but sometimes feelings and emotions get to me, and it sucks. I've thought maybe I should go find somebody to talk to when I have these issues, but I got you guys. That's what I got you guys for. It's that self-care, making sure that you're taken care of, making sure that you're in a good space. Because if you're not, how do you expect to be there for anybody else? Like this weekend, I go to get my toes done, and that'll bring joy to me. When I have pretty toes, it just makes me smile. It makes me feel better about myself, and that's one of the things one of those little quirky things, that helps me. And I don't think there is any right or wrong way to deal with your issues. How I deal with them may not be how you will, but the biggest thing is, at least admitting to yourself that there are issues. don't be hiding under shit. Don't be trying to put things off. If something's bothering you, let the people know that's bothering you. A lot of times people don't know that what they're doing or saying is bothering you because you haven't told them. So try to do it in a constructive way, not an asshole way. I have been known to do that, but really get into it. Make things as easy for yourself as you can. Let's see. Yeah, it was. Why are we doing this? I think we've all been there, right? Good morning to you, right? Yeah, I couldn't get that pass. Yeah, it was. I was like, oh, okay, thanks. So hopefully you still get yours, man. Agreed, Todd. We all have those days. Thankfully, the good days outweigh the negative ones. Absolutely. And for us, I would probably say for every 1 or 2 bad days, there's probably 30 good ones, right? Because it might be once a month, and it depends on the season. Like for me, when it's garbage outside, and you have like a week, 2 weeks of just gray and cold, it just is like, ugh. It's like Groundhog Day. Every day is the same. I come in, I print, I go home. I come in, I print, I go home. There's no sun, there's no enjoyment. It's not fun. Which I didn't even give my 5 things for today. 5 had things. I've got ordered supplies, I've got mock-ups, I've got open stores, I've got pressed products, and I've got DTF. I don't know if I said that, but those are my 5 things. But you're doing your best to navigate the waters that are out there, and you're going to have that. I try to be, Jay. I try to be. I try using the Chat GPT to create headlines and text for making new marketing places. Nice. Sounds like you're describing ADHD and seasonal depression. They are real. I have both. It doesn't surprise me. Have I been clinically diagnosed with anything? No. One time, one thing, but that's a whole different thing. But that's the thing is, that seasonal depression is a real thing. I know a lot of people that when they move south, or they just get out of the cold, that they feel a lot better seeing that sun. Like going out to California next week, that's really gonna, give me a little refresher. It's gonna be nice. Like I said, even it's the 60s. And then 2 weeks later, going to Vegas. Vegas is. It's been years since I went to Vegas, so that's going to be fun to see another show from there. And then looking at stuff, we have DAX that's in April for DAX Chicago. Not sure if we're doing DAX Kansas City or DAX Minnesota, but those are February, March, and April. And then in June is going to be Skills USA down in Atlanta, so we'll go back to that. And then we've got July is going to be, Shirt Labs down in New Orleans. So I think we're going to be able to hit that. And then Printing United is October. And I'm not sure if we're going to hit anything else in there. So we've got a day, we've got a year planned out for us, and we're excited to what this holds for it. And Chuck has best, you're human. We all are, right? We all have baggage. We all have issues to deal with. We all have things that we need to handle in our own way. But the biggest thing is, knowing that you got to, no worries, man. I'll just use yours, right? You're not going to go to everything. I'll use yours. They won't know, right? I'll take yours and we'll go from there. Waves, top of the morning. Free, good morning to you. Yeah, I think that a lot more of us have it. I think especially since we're a lot of creatives in here, right? We love that process, that creative process. But the other stuff is where we get, tripped up on. The production side of things, making sure that the flow is right, the marketing side of it. There's other things. I just want to be creative. I just want to print. I just want to do this. I don't want to have to mess with all that other stuff, but we need to as a business owner. Otherwise, it all goes out the window from there. Winter cabin fever. Yeah, and I'm looking at it where here's January. All right. Over the next month, I'm traveling 2 weeks, so that'll be, nice. Mid-February, by the time Valentine's Day into that, and hey, then we start sort of seeing an upswing and stuff. And then by the time March gets here, because by St. Patrick's Day, we've had St. Patrick's Days where it's been 85 and sunny, and we've had other ones where it's been 25 and snowy. So I know if I can just get through January and middle of February, that's there, but everything is looking up from there. The days are getting longer, the temperatures are going to start going up, and it'll be, a good, fun, exciting time. But it's just getting through that spot, right? Get the Happy Lights. They help you here in my studio for gloomy days. I have an extra one you can try. Well, I have that, and I have this, and that's my Happy Lights. I think what it is on for me, but I'll try this, Cindy. I'll, I'll try anything once. Uh, I think for me, it's getting out there and doing it. When I last time we had a storefront, it was very structured. I was in at this time, I left at this time. That was it. This one, that's not so much as structured. When we were at home, I could come and go as I pleased. So, if I wanted to fire up the smoker and have some ribs on the smoker throughout the day, go take a break and jump in the hot tub, grill something out in the afternoon. I could do all that. Not being there has taken that away, and now I need to figure out how to do it. So I don't look at this as a job, where I'm like, another day of coming in and seeing garbage artwork and misplaced transfers and non-payment of bills and all this other stuff, and then becomes a job, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to do the best. Oh yeah, Cindy, post where you got them, from. I'm betting Amazon. Amazon seems to have everything for it, but hopefully, I can shed a little light on this. That's part of my process is you guys. At the end of it, what am I doing? I'm sitting here talking to a camera. There's nobody in here. It's me and a camera. Yeah, everything about that. That's a little crazy, right? It's like I'm talking to myself. I'm reading your comments. You're interacting, but at the end of the day, I'm just talking to a camera. So maybe that's all it takes. Maybe you don't even need to talk to a camera and go live or that. You just need to have it there so you can get some stuff off your chest. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to do my best to push through this as always. I don't want to dwell on it, but sometimes it needs to be, brought up where things aren't always perfect. Sometimes sales are bad. We still have days that are zero in sales, and those days scare the hell out of me. And those days are what pushes me to continuously market, to continuously post, to create content, to look for other avenues, because I don't want those to happen. I want them to get fewer and fewer and farther between. A $10 day is better than a $0 day, but it's better than a $10 day, a $1,000 day, a $5,000 day, a $10,000 day, $25,000 day. Those are all days that make me really happy when days like those happen, because I look at this now as here is what we have, here's what we need, and how am I building to that number? Here's what I need each day to get to that number, and then after that, it's fine. It's getting to that, and it gets scary. It really, really does for me, because not only supporting me, but with the family, and it's a family business, and I want to make sure that I can provide for everyone. I want to make sure that if I'm not here, they're taken care of. Like, I know this may sound totally effed up, but if I was gone today, what would happen tomorrow? Would the family be taken care of? Would they know what to do? The great thing is that we have enough friends in the industry where they would come step up and be able to help them get through that, because everything else would be still here. I would just be gone. They would be able to take over and do that. But it's what's allowed us to watch the kids grow up and be there for everything that they needed. Go to every appointment, go to every school function, go to every sporting thing. We're able to do so much because we make our own schedule. But I still have days where I just don't know. Is that weird to the camera? No. My biggest thing is just looking at stuff where it is. Who's that? I seen a message that says, "Are we closed on Monday?" Somebody asked me, "Are you closed on Monday? It's Martin Luther King Day. Are you closed?" I don't think, for business wise, we won't be for all of our online orders, things like that, because we're shipped with UPS, so everything will still ship out fine that day. But I don't know. Are you open on Monday? Or are you not open on Monday? It's a 3-day weekend. It used to be for here, and I don't know if other places do it. It was always be a tourist in your own backyard. So the different event centers, the different hotels, they would all have package deals. Museums, everybody would have a good package deal because it's a 3-day weekend, and so you could go and have fun in your own backyard. And I'm not sure if they're doing anything, but I know we have a busy weekend because it is NFL playoffs. That's always a fun time. But we have a birthday party that we're going to on Saturday. And it's a new place we haven't been to, like a family fun kids entertainment place. And it sounds like it's going to be an all-day event. So we've got that Saturday, then Sunday. I'm getting my toes did. So that's choice. And then, you know, that's it. That's what we really got planned from there. Talking to yourself has now become technological, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm right there, Alan. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. I think it's fine to be able to talk to yourself, but it's much better when I have this platform because I can interact. I have this little, you know, back and forth, and it helps me. It helps me get through it. Alan, I wondered if it is a learned comfort. Um, Maybe. I mean, if you go back and you look at what some of my early videos were, and we're talking back in the Sub and More days, the stuff that got scrubbed from the internet, you know, like the first season or two, you know, I probably said a lot of things I shouldn't have said. I did a lot of wrong things. You know, I was a completely different person 5 years ago than I was today. What the big turning point for me was I knew I had to stay true to myself, but I had to not alienate others. And that happens with some of the language that you speak. I was a really big F bomber. Like I would drop F bombs like nothing, and I knew that that wasn't everybody's cup of tea. And so I had to really look at the things I was saying, the things that I was posting, and realize that if I want to appeal to the masses, to my people, that we can have that dark humor, we can have fun, we can do all that, but it doesn't always need to be in that public settings. That's why when we get to a show and we're there with our friends and we can have some drinks and just let our hair down. Well, I don't have much, but you know, have a good time. We can have a lot more fun. But I know that some things I say piss people off. Is that wrong? No. You know, I'm going to say how I feel. They're going to feel how they feel, and that's perfectly fine. But the more I do that, you know, it becomes that polarizing figure, and I can't do that. You know, I don't want to. I don't want to toe the line of right and wrong. I want to do what's best for me, our business, the family, and I'm not willing to compromise some of those beliefs just to, or any of those really. I'm not really to compromise to make somebody else happy. But what I will do is not express as deeply or as much about something because I don't want to. I don't want to offend people. I don't want to. And if I have in the past, I am sorry for that. You know, I there went through a period of reflection. I think we all do because once it's on the internet, it's there. You can't go any back from that. I had a talk with somebody yesterday. If we're able to, you know, or growing up in the way that we grew up, I grew up poor, but I didn't know that until I got to like junior high and high school because all my friends that we grew up in the same neighborhood, we were all the same. It's like racism and things like that. I didn't know about that. You know, we had friends that were every color of the rainbow. We just were friends. We were in the neighborhood. It was our crew. We grew up together. And it wasn't until we got to junior high and high school where those divisions really started to get set in. You know, we're a product of our environment. And so I did some unsavory things as a kid and teen, and you know I was in trouble. I wasn't the greatest of that, but you know we learned from those experiences, and you know a lot of the way that I dealt with stuff it was just jokes and trying to make others happy. I always thought if I could make others happy, that I could feel a sense of happiness too. And you know me, and you know I had daddy issues. I still do, you know, and I think that was a big factor in my life is you know not having my father there, not knowing if I was ever a good enough son or if I ever made him proud or did anything like that. It's still to this day, you know, I even though he's gone, even though you know he died at my house, and I tried to make amends with stuff, I still wonder, you know, what was it that I didn't do or did do that didn't want him to be a part of my life, right? Like, was I not a good son? Was what the hell was it? And so I've always kind of felt that sense of I'm not good enough for somebody, but if I can make them laugh, then they'll keep me around, right? You know, because everybody likes the funny friend, and the funny fat friend is even better. So you know that's where it was. You know, I do my best to try and put a smile on people's face because it makes me happy, you know, and it's tough. I think there's a we went to a lot of weird places today. And I'm sorry for taking you on that journey, but you know, like I said, I'll always be real with you. Let's see what we got here. Renee, I talk to myself all day. I call it a staff meeting. I do that. I write stuff down and I read it out. And I'm reading it to somebody else and then checking off. Yep, that's done. You can take it off your list. Yep, okay, you can go ahead and do that. So I'm right there with that. Remember the first time you went live? That was scary. That was really, really scary. Uh, I talked to my dogs. There was a dog here, I'd probably talk to it. I would sure. Jerry, I grew up really poor in a rich school district. It prepped me for the rest of my life in a positive way. Yeah, and ours was, we have, all the elementary schools, feed the two junior highs, and those two junior highs fed to the high school. Our from what I felt, our elementary was the poorest elementary that was in that junior high's district. Everything else was nice, high end things like that, where we were the ghetto of it, and so going to that next level, it was like that's when you realized, oh, okay, well, why are you treating like that? You live below the hill, and well, you don't live below that hill, you live below that hill, and it's like, oh, I I didn't realize that was a thing, and that's when I started to see it, and so it's tough, especially like now. I couldn't imagine being a kid. Like I look at like the stuff my kids will have to go through because of technology, because of social media. Like now something can go. Let's if I say something, you guys are going to be able to, especially if you're my age. If you're in your 40s, you're gonna know this, and you're gonna be like, yeah, how the hell did that work out? Like stuff right now can go viral through social media, right? TikTok, Snapchat, what's that other one? Facebook. What is the hell is some of that other stuff? What is it? Slack. Whatever the kids are using. Everything can be a viral just like that. But how did we get our information? Like how did we get our rumors? Like I know, being the Midwest kid, that I'm not the only one that remembers a rumor of about a certain band member that took a rib out so he could do something else, or that same band member being Paul from the Wonder Years, right? And that was in like the 90s. So there wasn't internet. There was, but you didn't have open access to it. There wasn't the social media. So how the hell did those rumors get from coast to coast? I don't know. And now everything is had right there. Everybody has a phone, everybody has a camera, everybody is video recording your every fault, and they're right there to post it. So you could do one thing just stupid and could haunt you 20, 30 years from now, and you're not the same person. Like I sure as hell ain't the same person I was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, even 10 years ago, 5 years ago. We're constantly evolving, but people will hold that against you, and there's video proof of it, and this is how it is, and it sucks because you always have to watch what you're doing, what you say. So with my kids, it's like, hey, once it's out there, it's out there. Just be courteous of what you have on there. A phone tree was the only way, and it was so distorted by the time it made it through. Right there, it is. See, right here, I said it, and you know exactly like Marilyn Manson, right? Like everybody knew that rumor. How the hell? It wasn't like MTV, because remember, that's when MTV would play videos, then they would have a few reality shows, but there was MTV News that you would get. That was our generation's like all access or whatever. So you get those, those little 3 minutes every hour of what was going on in it, and those wouldn't say it. So how did this even become about? Right? I don't know. Yeah, 100% phone a friend, right? Like 100% phone a friend. That's what it was, and that's the thing. Like we would just meet somewhere. Like hey, calling my friend. We're gonna go meet here at this time. There wasn't. Oh, I can just call them whenever. I still, the last pay phone I remember seeing was in Hardee's at the mall, because that's what you went to the mall, to the meeting place. That's wasn't. You would drive. We'd have the avenue, and we would meet here at this time. There wasn't. Oh, hey, how far are you out? Where are you at? Let me text you and see. It was you call. Oh, the phone's busy. Okay, so either his mom's on the other line or the phone's off the hook and he can have it. There's a lot more access to information now. Cool. Where'd it go? Right, you just posted on your Instagram. Awesome. Rye's putting up a poll for he's looking at branding and switching his brand over, so we're going to go check that out today for it. Yeah, something with social media now. The rotary phone party line. Yeah, I have that. So do we have a volley? Do we volley a friend now? You can, right? You can totally volley my friend. I still remember my phone number as a kid. So the two phone numbers I remember is it'd be 309, but 788-0811. That was time and temp. So you could call that. I wonder if that one's still there. And then the other one was 786-2487. That was my grandma's old phone number, and because that was the go-to. Now my phone number when I lived in this little town on the outskirts was 2345459. And since it was outskirts, you had to dial a one. So my phone number was 12344 plus 5 equals 9. And so that those are the three that I remember the most. We moved a fair amount as a kid. So a lot of it in that first 10, 12 years was all in the same neighborhood. So it was easy to go back and forth through stuff. But on some of the other stuff, gotten older, it was like, hey, we need to get out of here for it. Now it's how old are you? I didn't have to dial an area code the first. Yeah. So true. I have no idea what my parents or daughter are today. No reason to memorize anything. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like we still in our kitchen cabinet is still a phone number list of our neighbors' phones, important phone numbers, things like that. But yeah, I remember having that right next to the phone with the cord that was like 37 miles long, so you could go and hide in the closet, so you could talk so other people couldn't hear you because you aren't getting a phone in your room. What the hell do you need a phone in your room for? Don't get me started when the internet started and you're on the internet and somebody picked up the phone and that booted you out. Yeah, don't get me started on that. My parents have the same phone number from when they had the first phone in the early 60s. That's amazing. All right. We went super long today. We've covered a lot of ground. Thanks for listening to me. I kind of need to get that off my chest. We will be back. What do we got? Monday, Morning Mindset at 8:30 a.m. Tuesday with Todd. Remember, we are leaving for Long Beach next week. And when we get back that week, Corey is heading to Punta Cana. Then we've got a break reprieve, I believe. And then I'm heading to Vegas the following week. So we've got a busy month coming up on this. So remember, get your orders in early now if you need them by the end of next week, because, after 10 a.m. Tuesday, no production till that following week on those. Memorize one number in case you go to go. It was grandma's number, 786-2487. Why? My grandma had polio, so she didn't leave the house. If she did, it was, it wasn't. She didn't leave the house unless we went on vacation or something somewhere. She took us there. But yeah, you can always count on grandma, unless it was at night. And then, then their phone might be off the hook. So yeah, that was crazy time right there. So yeah, you guys have an amazing day. Look for deals next week. If anybody just wants to just chit chat and talk, let me know. I can start that conversation too, because sometimes that's what you need. And you got a friend in me, kid. There you go. So at the end of the day, this is all about us, what we can do together to help each other. And you guys being there to listen to me really helps me. So I appreciate that very, very much. All right. Peace, love, press on. We will see you guys next Monday. Have a great weekend.